Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of the Wrestling Godfatherz podcast. I stumbled a little bit there. I am Don Mystic, aka the Overweight Cruiserweight, aka the Nacho Man Randy Cabbage. Like how I do that little
Oh, yeah,
stutter. Anyways, I am here with Don. It's all a work. Who
it's all
cannot
over.
choose a name to save his fucking life.
Oh no, this is a running gag. It
This is a
will.
running gag. This
It
is
is.
this is our version of Kenny getting killed. AKA Mr. Money in the Bank, AKA shit, I forgot the last. Oh yeah, the Million Peso
Peso
Man.
man,
Oh my
a
god,
million peso
you
man.
can tell I just got back from work, dude. My mind is not working at lightning speeds like normal.
No, Don Mystic. He works. He works at the mystical factory where he does mystic shit.
Yes, I stick my mystic dick in your mother. No,
Wow, Don Mystic just got foul with it, ladies and
no, no, no,
gentlemen.
no, no,
I don't
no.
know, ladies and gentlemen.
Audience that we don't have. Your mothers need loving too.
They do, and hopefully they're getting it from Don Mystic here because it's mystical.
It is mystical.
It's
Every time I come, instead of like ejaculate, a little poof of smoke comes,
ta-da.
and
Hey,
my dick screams "Ninja Vanish." You remember
it's
that from the old school Ninja Turtles live action one, like
the movie.
yeah, the movie, like
Yes, yes.
I forget who it is. It's a bald dude. He would just throw down the thing, "Ninja Vanish." Oh man, it sounds racist when I say it, but
It's all good though. We know
all right,
we're referencing the
all
Ninja
right.
Turtles, and we're trying to be nice. We enjoyed that film,
I did love that film.
and there's a
I love
wrestling
it, and then
connection.
I love the Ninja
Kevin
Turtles in
Nash was
general.
Super Shredder, so
Yeah.
peep that shit. Wouldn't that
All
be
right.
sick if Super Shredder would have like power bomb Vanilla Ice or some shit? That would have been fucking dope.
Should have
Fucking
happened. Should have happened.
dude, and then he does his fucking diesel fist. I would like that, yeah. I mean,
All
not
right.
that Vanilla Ice deserves a power bomb. It just would have made the movie fresher.
Oh no, he did steal that hook from what was it, Queen?
Well,
Do, 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 do,
well, when he explained how he didn't steal it, he added an extra ding in
do.
there. So yeah, but you're right. Yes.
Yeah, which I believe in the industry we call bullshit. But
Bullshit.
anyways, let's get started.
And in
A
it,
lot of stuff
you
happened this
start
week.
us off, and I'll join us in progress.
All right. So a lot of stuff happened this week. The main one on Raw, I don't want to say main one because a lot of stuff happened on Raw, but we did get Triple H coming out and talking about a new belt that's going to be, I believe, awarded at Night of Champions. So basically, what's going to happen is Roman Reigns is going to keep his belt, and whatever show he's on come the end of the draft, the other show I believe is going to get like a new champion. Although I'm not sure, it's not 100% clear to me whether this new champion is going to be like defending on both shows. Because here's the thing, Roman doesn't show up that much anymore, so I mean, realistically, we get him maybe like a couple episodes before a pay per view, if he's on that pay per view, and maybe, and at the pay per view. But like, let's face facts, we don't get him that often. He's not going to be a Backlash. I don't expect to see him on many shows before Backlash. I mean, so it makes me wonder how often this new belt is going to be like defended. Is it going to be defended all the time, or is it going to be just more of the same? I truly hope it's not more of the same, because we need a belt that's more present in the show, because right now we don't have one. We have one that's kind of here, but kind of not. It's kind of reminiscent of when Brock was holding the title when he wasn't like a full time wrestler. I say wasn't. Say it like it's not still happening, but oh man, somebody's back. All right, but
Just like that.
yeah, what I was talking about was the fact that I'm wondering if the new belt, not the new belt that Roman Reigns is getting, but the new one that they're bringing in for Night of Champions.
Yes, that one.
Like I'm wondering how often it's going to be like defended, because
Frequently. Has to be
yeah,
free. And Triple H
I
basically
hope
said
so.
that. Because that promo
And
is basically like basically Triple H saying that due to Roman Reigns' super lenient ass
dude, he threw that motherfucker under the
under the
bus. By the
bus. He
way,
did big time. He said basically because of his lenient ass schedule, we need a belt that we could actually defend. Now, look, I will say this as well. I I agree with what you assume, and I'm assuming the same thing. So we're gonna roll with it. That that's what Triple H is referencing. The fact that they want a belt that's more defendable and more available to be on TV. But I will also say WWE chose to keep the belt on Roman Reigns. So I get bitching about it, but also there was a significant opportunity at the biggest event in WWE,
there was
which is
also
WrestleMania.
significant
So
outrage that it didn't happen, but
agreed,
yeah,
but
and I'm not gonna lie, there were many many like swear words thrown out at my computer as I was watching that shit. Like
yeah,
what? The...
right.
I'm like,
But that like no, but I feel it too, and I think, but this is where I think. Have you ever heard the expression "too many chiefs and not enough tribesmen"? I don't know. It
no.
no, well, it's an expression basically there when you have too many people being in control of something. So we're let's say I don't know
You
a
mean like too many chefs in the kitchen?
yeah yeah
Okay.
you have Triple H, right, who's basically Gordon Ramsay, and you have Vince McMahon who owns the company that airs the TV show Gordon
Is there a
Ramsay.
chef that like makes shit food? You know what? Yeah, he's Vince McMahon is John Oliver. All right, there we go.
Don't defile John Oliver like that. I take offense.
Not that John Oliver. No, wait. Is his first name John? I don't know. The celebrity chef who is always cooking healthy shit.
Well, I
It's
don't know. I
something.
don't,
It's something Oliver. I'm not talking about like the dude on
on HBO.
no.
Oh,
Like
okay, then yeah,
he
other dude.
let's put it this way: he cooked such shit food that I never took the time to learn his first name. So
We'll call him. We'll call him just the guy,
we'll
the other
call
guy,
him the Vince McMahon of
main
cooking.
guy.
No,
the
wait. I'm sorry. I got caught up. He is the Goldberg of cooking.
the Goldberg cooking. Yes. So
Our new
here,
catchphrase.
yeah, and that's the thing is when you have basically Triple H doing the day to day, Vince then saying, "Hey, guess what? We're redoing this, and I'm pulling rank
Oh
here."
yeah, dude. I heard that like there were like there was some shit that said he like he like remotely made some changes last minute or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but there, yeah, and I heard the same thing. I also heard that the changes weren't very significant,
Yeah,
because
and
as you can tell, Raw
Bad
kind of.
Bunny, instead of hitting him one time with the kendo stick, hit him twice.
Yeah, well, because if you notice, like, I don't know if Vince were there if he would have had Finn and Cody be a main event quality match that starts the third hour as opposed to being the last 2 minutes of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my point is, you have this, and this is my only fear, and it's not a fear of like because it's gonna happen. So I guess it's gonna happen. It's they're gonna when they split this belt, you're going to have a situation where Roman Reigns has a belt, which is fine. And then you're going to have this new belt, which represents the brand that Roman Reigns isn't drafted to. However, Roman is still going to, in essence, never have been beaten for that brand's title because he currently has both brands' titles. I know it was champion versus champion with Brock Lesnar to unite the titles, but if you're new, or well, this maybe they didn't know, but if you knew going into WrestleMania that the draft is coming down the pipeline and you want to open, you want to open up you know, have a champion for each show, then why not have Roman drop the titles, or maybe Roman and Paul Heyman in the build up to WrestleMania? They get Weasley. Paul Heyman is able to change it from the Universal title to specifically SmackDown or Raw. I mean, whatever title you pick. That way, if Cody did go over, Roman still would have one belt. Cody would have the other. And now that you introduce the new title, you could just swap out the old looking title or have Cody walk in with the new title, or you could at least say, okay, well, we're going to do this brand split. We're introducing a new title, right? And then you could even have uh, a retirement ceremony for the other belt and have that champion be like, no, I want to earn the new title. Like you can do so much with it. And my fear is that now it's going to be like, Roman's going to be like, I was never beaten and I gifted that title. It basically is going to mean that new title is just going to mean slightly less than Roman's until Roman's defeated, because Roman will have never lost. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know,
yeah,
and but here's the thing: that's an angle now.
that
I
is
mean,
that is a total angle.
and it's a legitimate angle, but
It's a
like,
goddamn work.
it's goddamn. Hence the name. Hence the name. But let's move off of like what we think, like of what's going on. What do you think of the actual look of the belt?
I think it's fine. It looked decent. I would look the. I don't know, and I say this with all due respect to people who are into belts where that's their jam. I think the belt that people like the best is the belt that they were most immersed in the product. Like I'll give you an example. For me, there is no belt that in my mind is ever as good, as prestigious as the belt used from, like, maybe I don't know. They give on 2K, they give you the dates of the belts, but basically the Winged Eagle, right? So that classic belt that ran through the late 80s and most of the 90s all the way until the Attitude Era. That belt, to me, is like that is seared in my brain, because that was the belt that where I was basically like, when I finally was old enough to somewhat understand what was happening, where that belt was the belt that I was always cheering for my favorite wrestler to obtain or get or whatever, right? So to me, that's my belt. And I know some people that got in when WCW got hella hot and was the place to be on Monday nights. They love the big gold belt. Then you have other people who got in the Attitude Era who are like the smoking skull belt. And then you have some of those newer kids who are like, nah, the spinner belt.
And I
John
mean,
Cena,
can't forget the Brahma Bull belt.
the Brahma Bull belt. I mean, yeah.
Oh, dude, even newer kids who had the this one I thought was really cool. The wooden belt that Daniel
Oh yeah,
Daniel Bryan had. Oh,
yeah.
it's so hard to keep up with what name
He
he's
should have
going by
just
now.
kept his fucking
I
what
don't think
then.
he could. I
I
don't
know.
think he
I think
could.
WWE probably owns it, but I mean,
Yeah.
should have just been like, because Daniel
Said
Bryan
fuck
in
you. Sue
WWE.
me for using my name.
Yeah,
I
Daniel
don't
Bryan
even.
in
Is that even his
WWE.
name?
Bryan
I don't
Daniel.
know.
Oh, I probably not, because if it was, how could he not be able to use
I'd be the dumbass that used my actual name and have it not be my property
it?
anymore.
Oh, you mean, ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing it first. Dom Mystic's real name
No,
is
no, it's not
no,
gonna
no.
be on
Dom
this
Mystic's
podcast.
real name is the Mystical Wizard.
Okay, yeah, you better not fucking do
No, I wasn't gonna do it.
dox my ass,
Oh,
motherfucker.
oh my god,
Anyways,
Domestic, you big.
I'm gonna tell you though, like I look at that belt, I just see too much going on.
I
Like
lied to
it's
everyone. It's Barry Mystic. Sorry, I had to
is
let the truth out. His real name is Barry Mystic.
very mystic. Uh, my real name is Booberry. Yeah,
It's true.
I I own my own cereal. But anyways, the truth is like I think that there's too much going on with that belt. I
Wait,
personally
wait, wait. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Which belt are we speaking of
the
again?
new belt that they just
Oh, are you talking about the design of it?
yeah, the design of it. I just think
Okay.
there's a lot going on with it, and I've never been a huge fan of ones that were like really intricate. Now that being said, like the ones that like were made for like a specific champion, like the Daniel Bryan belt, like the Stone Cold belt, like the
The
Rock
Brahma Bull.
belt. Even, hell, even like the John Cena
Yeah, the
belt.
spinner belt.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was a cool belt. It's fun. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, but I
That's
mean, the
fun.
person who had it sucked dick. But whatever.
No, get
Anyways,
out. Look, I'm not the John Cena fan of the character in that era, but John
no,
Cena's always
the dude
the
himself is
dude.
like an awesome
Right,
human
right. The
being,
dude's
but
that's yeah, he's an all-star dude. Just I wasn't a
just the
big fan of
character though,
the PG era John Cena, hero
not
man.
my thing, not my
Not
thing.
my thing. Yeah.
And I mean, usually I go for like the good guy, the face guy, but like some people are just two faced, not two faced, but like
Two fa-
they're
mhm.
too much of a good guy
Right, right.
that you're
Two
like, I'm getting diabetes,
goody
motherfucker.
tissues, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
my god.
so want to talk about anything? Like I was saying, the belt seems a little bit too like over the top for me, but I mean it's a belt, so I can live
Yeah.
with it.
And
And I'm
here's the thing. Did you notice the logo in the middle is like the logo they run with right now?
mhm.
So there's that aspect. But I like how it was. I felt that it was a darker black, if that, than because you have the red and the blue faceplates for the two
That
brands,
didn't
but
make
then
sense.
the
Like if you're splitting up the brands, like why? I mean, I understand it to an extent because, or you're at least not supposed to know which company the new one's going to.
right, because if it was blue, you're like, oh, okay, Roman's going to be drafted to Raw, and if it's red,
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
yeah, but
Roman drafted
to
to
me
SmackDown.
that's why it would have made more sense to like debut these belts at the same time. Like
Oh,
just
there's
say,
going to be two.
please tell me you fuck. What do you mean there's going to be two?
There's going to be two new belts.
No, 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 no. There, well, kinda. I mean, there's one new belt that's already been announced.
Yeah, that was the
With
one on the pedestal throughout
yeah,
Monday Night Raw.
and
Yeah,
then there's going to be another one that's that's given away at Night of Champions.
isn't no? I think that's that belt. The belt on Raw was the Night of Champions belt
Really?
because that's the belt that's going to be. That's the belt that goes to the brand that doesn't draft. I was about to
Well,
say that
okay,
I was about to
whatever.
put
The
Roman
point
Reigns.
is,
Yeah.
like it doesn't really make. I mean, it makes sense to an extent. But why didn't they just not show it until after the draft? The
Oh,
draft is literally in a week. Just say, oh, okay, just announce it, or hell, fuck it, announce it
you know
after the
what it
draft.
is? It well, here's the thing. Now there's a stake into being drafted to the opposite show of Roman Reigns. So if Roman Reigns went to SmackDown, there were no stakes on Raw in terms of champion because it's still Roman Reigns. But the fact that now you see the belt's there, you're like, oh, okay, Roman is definitely going to
Can we
be.
draft Roman Reigns to next and NXT, and then that belt can be the one for like the other two brands? Because at
It
least
could.
then we get to see it all the time.
By the way, I'm gonna go ahead and say I kind of just me speculating. I bet you Roman's going to SmackDown.
I don't give two shits in a fuck.
No. There's
Well, here's the thing though. If you send him to, because all his bloodline guys are on Raw, right?
no. Well, that's the thing. Right now, guys go between shows,
Yeah.
but
Is that going to change though with the draft?
yeah, of course, because then there's no point in the draft. If
Yeah.
you could go between
So if
shows,
that's
there is 0 point in the
yeah.
draft.
So but if you do that,
Zero.
if you switch him to SmackDown, and you don't switch the rest of the
Well,
bloodline to
that that
SmackDown,
that
that effectively breaks up the bloodline.
it does, and they are not going to do that. So that's not a considerable worry.
Yeah, so
Um,
I think because think about it, you'd have to literally draft the entire bloodline for
y-
the. So I think
yeah,
he's staying on
you're
Raw.
there is not a chance. There is not
Yeah.
a chance that's how they break the
What technical show is Cody on right now?
Raw, I believe.
Raw.
Yeah.
What about Sammy? Raw.
Yeah. So,
And
Kevin
I'm trying to
Owens,
think of like because we could
but
probably
that's the
get
thing. Guys go between shows. That's why.
yeah.
I mean, but I bet you Roman Reigns is going to stay on SmackDown, and that new belt's going to be for Raw. I just have that gut feeling because I don't know where I heard it and if it's real what I heard. Something that they prefer, or at least due to Roman Reigns' contract, he prefers Fridays. That's why he's on SmackDown and not Raw most of the time. Something to that extent. So I bet, and I I don't know. I kind of want at this draft, like I don't know. I just have the gut feeling he's going. Roman Reigns is going to SmackDown, and that new belt's going to be for Raw. I just got that.
Maybe. I mean, it could happen,
But
but like
I
I'm
want,
not sure how to
I want
work.
Seth Rollins in the opposite show of Roman Reigns because I think Seth Rollins,
I think
he's
splitting up the
becoming
titles. You have to have like a decent amount of like. I wouldn't mind sending like having all the young talent because we don't exactly know how this draft is going to work.
no, but I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to split up the bloodline because they
I
have too
don't think
much
so either.
invested in it to do that at the draft.
But like, I
But
mean,
they are going to split up. I guarantee you, a tag team or two is going to be split up
oh,
by
definitely,
the
definitely.
draft, and I still
I
do
think Street
probably
Profits are probably going to be like split
right.
up. I
And
could
they're
see Alpha Academy getting split up.
well, I don't see Alpha Academy being split up by the draft because I think they already started the storyline
Just split them up anyways. But
on Monday night because it was sort of the distraction of Chad Gable lost because Chad Gable lost because his partner was being distracted. What's his name when he's a model?
Otis.
Otis, because he's Otis normally, but when he's a model, he's Otis. And he was with the modeling chick who I honestly forget her name. Um, I'll remember though.
I forget too.
But he was doing Otis things when Chad Gable needed him. So I think they're going to start that whole breakup scenario between the Alpha Academy, which
Could
kind of
happen.
is wild because I like the Alpha Academy.
I
I like
still like
Otis,
Alpha
and
Academy.
I love Chad Gable.
Shoosh.
Shoosh. And here's the best part. He got over with a dumbass shoosh, but it's I love that thing, but it is dumbass. But in the ring, Chad Gable's a fucking just a
Dude, here's the
he's a
thing. Part of the
beast, bro.
reason I want them to break up,
So good in the
because Chad Gable to me could easily become a top tier wrestler, like
oh
fighting for a world championship.
I want to see a detailed program between Chad Gable and LA Knight. I don't know who I would cheer for because
Mhm.
I like both. I think LA I
LA Knight to me, like with his more like work on the mic,
dude
he should be like
LA he's
he
I
and
he needs
Gable should be the main event, like
oh my god LA Knight yeah
at least fighting in the main event like
in the
category.
main event scene yeah and LA Knight I think the time is now LA Knight's I'm he's impressive
He's a little bit
he's
older. He's got a little bit like
so
more.
good
He's
like
got a little more tread on the tires, but at the same time, dude, like
he's good
he's one of those guys
he's
who's
ready
like,
now
oh, he's ready. Yeah,
he he my favorite LA Knight moment so far was when he slapped Bray Wyatt, because I it shocked me. I was like, because you know how like I've been conditioned by WWE to where every time the supernatural character is around, everyone is a little like hesitant. Every time the Undertaker was in his dead man phase, right? People were scared to be around him. People were like, oh, every time the boogeyman would show up, people would be like, oh, every time there was someone mystical, if you will, there was always some apprehension. But Bray Wyatt comes out doing his Bray Wyatty shit, and LA Knight slapped him across the face. I was like, I don't give two shits or a fuck.
Oh man.
Even though he lost the Mountain Dew Purple Haze Fun Show Friday Light Spectacular, he still.
Jizz in a bottle. Like dude, that match was so bad though. Like
Well,
anytime
anytime you
they
have
put
to wrestle in the dark with fluorescence to put over a soda, it probably will be. But even fresher was LA Knight made sure that, God damn it, if that spot with Uncle Howdy fucked up, which it was fucked up, it wasn't
oh
LA
wait,
Knight's fault. It was not LA Knight's fault. It was
it
Uncle
will
Howdy's
yeah,
dumbass because he was way too far away.
it wasn't even the same fucking time zone, motherfucker. Like that dude, like Bo Dallas apparently does not know how to hit an elbow drop to save his fucking life.
Or he was trying too hard to make sure he was protecting LA Knight that he went a little too far. And here's the wild part. Uncle Howdy, nowhere to be seen. Bray Wyatt, nowhere to be seen. LA Knight, he's headlining the match after Raw goes off the air. You got to get this guy on TV. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying
dude,
about that.
the dude is crazy on the mic.
Yeah, of
Like,
course, he's hella good. I want to see, yeah, LA Knight, Chad Gable. That would be, if I compare two wrestlers, that'd be some fantasy storylines. I don't know what storyline would be. I think they'd hit it out of the park, whatever it is, and
who
then
do I think would be
add Seth
great?
Rollins to that mix. Seth Rollins is another
Mhm.
beast.
Like, who do I think would be great to work with LA Knight? It'd have to be someone else who's like absolutely excellent on the mic. My first thought would be like Sami Zayn, but he's in the tag team right division.
Or
He's in the
Cody,
tag team.
LA Knight, and
Oh,
Cody
dude,
could have.
Cody.
They
Ooh.
could have. That could
They
be
could have an
something.
epic match, but
They could.
and the run up to it. Oh my god, because Cody's excellent on the mic.
Like LA
Fucking
Knight.
LA Knight's excellent on the mic. That could be some really good shit.
Right. I would love that if Cody were to beat Roman, he go into a program with LA Knight, and even if LA Knight doesn't come out with the strap, LA Knight being in the main event scene, being able to pull those big time promos, and knowing he can go in the ring, I think that you have money made there. Or whenever you crown the new champion, say, because Cody's going to end up on the show with Roman Reigns, I believe, to continue that storyline. And then I think on the opposite show, could you imagine like Night of Champions? It's Seth Rollins, LA Knight for the title. I think there could be a lot of
Ooh.
money there. And then in a potential rematch, and I almost would want to see Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins has already won titles and gotten some shine on WrestleMania. But I would just love to see LA Knight, because Seth Rollins is eccentric. And so LA Knight is not necessarily eccentric, but he's eccentric on the mic, because he just says, but
Says
he says
whatever
with
the fuck he
conviction.
wants.
I would be That's so much money. That, oh my
Oh,
god, that'd be
dude.
so cool.
You know what I'd really like to see? Finn Balor, like kind of do what he did with Cody and invite
Yeah.
LA Knight into the
Judgment.
Judgment Day, and then LA Knight just like kind of like not agree in terms of actually getting in the thing, but kind of like agree and just like for weeks on weeks and weeks, like make them look like asses. Like the Judgment Day, make them look like asses, and then it ends with like at a pay per view with him like embarrassing Finn Balor like in an actual match. Like you could really build him up like that.
Yeah, but I don't know if he fits the mold of the Judgment Day.
Well, no,
Although,
like
although I will say this: whoever wins that title, whatever show Judgment Day ends up on, after the storyline concludes between Dominic and Ray, I think they need to. I want to see Dominic get into a program where, kind of like, you know how sometimes where almost like not like a where he's like a mastermind, like cheating to win, kind of like how Eddie Guerrero did uh back in the day, where he would like hit someone with a chair and then throw him the chair. Not like that, but where wrestlers like the Judgment Day or whomever go out of their way to help Dominic get some wins and have him beat some top talents, but completely like underhandedly. That way the crowd's just like, oh fuck. You know, and then you have like the payoff is Theory versus Dominic. The crowd would lose their mind because they hate them both. They would they wouldn't know
Now,
they
see, to
couldn't
me,
voice their displeasure enough.
I mean, there'd be a lot of boos, but to me, it would be like no one would care about the match
No, I
because
think
no one cares about either one of those motherfuckers.
no, Dominic.
See, this is what I hate
It,
about Vince
no,
McMahon. By the
they
way,
don't boo Dominic that ferociously because they don't care. They
this might
boo him
actually
because
make
they care because
Dominic
they
getting into
don't
the
like.
baby face.
Yeah. By the way, when he was a baby face, didn't get much crowd reaction other than when he saved his dad.
Yeah. Although I do think that at some point they're going to turn on babyface again.
Oh well, every wrestler is at
Yeah, I
some
mean,
point
I think it might actually be like sooner. Well, not
for
necessarily.
Dominic.
I think what's going to happen is when Rey Mysterio actually decides to retire, what they're going to do is have him like facing Dominic, and Dominic is going to retire him.
Yeah, that would be cool.
What's going to happen is like Judgment Day, or this is what I think is going to happen. Judgment Day's going to beat Ray so badly that Dominic like realizes what he's done and turns on Judgment Day. And then now Ray's gone, and it's going to be a program of Dominic fighting off Judgment Day.
That would be something. Now,
Yeah.
personally speaking,
I
I
mean,
don't.
I don't want it to happen because I
Uh,
think Rhea Ripley and him are like
they
the
make
most awesome like
and they make
duo.
such a good couple because Dominic is such a squeaky little guy compared to her. I
I
mean,
know. For the love of God, he calls her mommy.
well, but then again, that's also common in his culture. So in the
Yeah,
Mexican
yeah.
culture,
We're
that's
not gonna
not
get
a.
into like what that says about that culture.
What are you saying about my culture? Want me to talk about your culture? Are we about to
You
get in a
know
culture
anything about my
fight?
culture?
All the stuff I know is not nice. That's all I can say about that.
So nothing.
Exactly. So basically,
What can I say? Whitey's keeping
stereotypes.
me down. Whitey is keeping me down.
Only oh, Don Mystic, Barry Mystic, if you will.
I know what you're all thinking. You are white, and yes, and I'm keeping me down. You got to pay attention, people. Got to pay attention.
Yeah,
All
he is
right,
old.
so like, what were we even talking about?
Oh, we're talking about fantasy. We're fantasy booking.
Oh, you know what I was gonna say. Like I don't like one of the things I hate about Vince McMahon is he thinks he knows better than everyone else, but he doesn't realize that like this is I mean, the fans are the customer. If you're not making the fans happy, you're not doing a good job. But he thinks that he knows wrestling so well that so omnipotent when it comes to wrestling that
Yeah,
he can force something down your throat and you'll end up loving it. And that's what's happening with Austin Theory. Now, to be fair, he kind of did that with The Rock, and it kind of worked.
yeah. He also did that.
Eventually,
He also,
eventually,
but that's
Roman Reigns, and it worked to an extent. But
yeah.
I mean, I would still say he's not that overly over.
Yeah, no, I don't think Roman's the most over, even though they tell you he is on TV all the time. Based off his reactions, the crowd reactions, I don't know. I think he's in the top tier. Um, you
I
know,
think people love to hate him. That's what I think it is.
I think people are tired of him, and
Yeah,
I don't think it's anything Roman Reigns, the performer, did himself. I believe it's how he's been
I just
booked.
oh yeah, definitely. I think they pushed him so hard, and it was before he was ready,
Yeah,
and
completely.
people were mad because they weren't getting a product which they weren't getting the level of product that they deserved or
No,
that
yeah,
they wanted, and
right. I mean, just like that promo with Cena, where Cena was like,
it's,
"It's called." He's
to be
like,
fair though,
"It's called a promo."
Cena's really good on the mic, so
He's
like
really good on the mic. Yeah,
first by
but
Cena
that
isn't
but
that
that's
big a deal.
right. But he was like, Roman, it's called a promo. If you want to be the big dog, you're gonna have to learn how to do it. I was like, that just cut his balls off though. That scene is so good, but that just neutered Roman Reigns for years. Because in my mind, that I unfortunately I still think of that incident, right? And not because Roman's bad or anything, but because actually Roman's grown. Like seeing him today and seeing where he was back then, you're thinking like, man, he's grown in leaps and bounds, which is great for the performer. But I'm like, John, you don't have to go so hard. Like that's a human that
Yeah,
that has a family. For
you
fuck's
know what
sake.
absolutely killed Roman Reigns for me? What and it wasn't Cena. He was already dead by that point to me. You know what it was?
What? Oh
That is the
yeah.
dumbest shit. And then he does like a superhero like landing pose. That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. That's got to be like for 5-year-olds or something like that. And he's not the type to appeal to 5-year-olds, so he's not a Cena. So it, Cena did not wear those fruity pebble shirts for nothing. He wore them for the kiddies, but
Yeah.
not in a dirty way, you
No,
nasty ass fucking fans.
I'm not the one talking about Fruity Pebble shirts. I was just listening to you. That's all. That is
Yeah,
all.
like I said, I just came from work. I'm tired.
Yeah,
I don't know half the shit I'm talking about.
Don Barry Mystic over there. He's running on fumes.
All right, so what else you want to talk about?
Oh, I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Jeff Hardy return to AEW, and I think that was a really cool moment. Uh, I hope for the performer, Jeff Hardy, he's able to have good matches and all that shit. But for the human being,
I hope
I
he's
hope
clean.
he's sober. I hope he's
Yeah,
clean. um, Addiction is a real life thing. It's not just something that, if it were so easy, he probably would have already been sober and not had any issues with it. But it's hard. It's hard. I remember he did a thing out here. We're in the Bay Area, and there's a local promotion called Big Time Wrestling, and this would be years ago. So this would be over, I would say maybe even 15 years ago. We would have been in our young 20s, and he was billed for a Big Time Wrestling show where he would come in and sign autographs. And I remember at that time I was helping them assemble their ring for Big Time Wrestling. This was a very brief stint. It was like a 3 or 4 month stint where I helped them assemble their ring and whatnot. Right, so for that show, I remember the promoter mentioning, "Oh, he'll be in when we have the signing at intermission." And I was just milling around, and I was like, "Well, if he's not in, that means he's out." So I walk into the parking lot, and Jeff Hardy was uh, he was in a rental car, and he was not looking good, and he looked a little sick, and I felt bad for the guy. Now at the time I had no idea, but I'm sure it was, it's what we all could assume. And I hope for him that he beats his demons, man. Like that sucks.
I
And I
mean,
hope,
and here's the thing:
yeah,
they say you never cure alcoholism.
yeah,
You just
or
find
whatever it
ways
was,
to
right,
to subside it. So
yeah. And yeah, and
I
I'm
hope
hoping for
he
me
I
too. I'm
hope
hoping the best for Hardy.
yeah,
But
because
I would also like, I think we should say too, you know, knowing what we know about Hardy from here on out, Hardy should make the choice. if he finds himself in a sketchy spot, please use Uber, please use Lyft, because you could hurt yourself or others with drunk driving.
Like,
So, you know,
I
like
kind of hope that they wrote into his contract that he needs to have, like, a certain level, not, I don't even want to say accountability, a certain level of, I guess you would say, supervision, maybe, like
maybe, yeah,
instead of
I feel what you're saying.
like a buddy who, like, make sure he's on the right path and making the right decisions. Like, if he starts to get a little out of line, they just be all like, maybe you shouldn't do that. You
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I like, honestly, I hope the guy's sober and okay in his personal life, right?
Oh yeah.
Because he's already given to the wrestling world. If he never wrestled another moment again, he doesn't have to worry about his
I mean,
legacy, right?
the man's a human highlight reel. Let's face facts.
Literally, yeah. So
Like, he's like the one person that, if you told me he spent just as much time on in the air as he has on land,
yeah,
I'd totally
you'd
believe that
believe it. Yeah,
shit.
yeah, completely. But the real life Jeff Hardy is the one where you're like, all right, guy, like, we need to, hopefully for you and your family, you can put yourself together so you can find whatever peace you need to find. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because all the other wrestling blogs and sites were mentioning it, but I think there's value to it, right? I mean, there is value to, hey, yeah, we cheer for your storylines and all, this guy didn't do this, or they're pushing this guy too hard, all that jazz. But at the end of the day, very grateful for what performers provide us, because they provide us entertainment. I've enjoyed Jeff Hardy for how many ever years he's wrestled. I even remember, I remember the original TLCs, right? And the feud with Edge, Christian, the Dudley, whatever. I remember all that jazz. And I remember how much I cheered for the Hardy Boys. And now I'm cheering for Jeff Hardy, but I'm not necessarily cheering in the ring. I'm more cheering for the man outside the ring, because
Yeah.
that's the person
Cheering
that,
in general.
yeah,
We
yeah,
hope all around
exactly.
he's good. We
Exactly.
hope he's good.
We hope
But
he's good. And then, since we're on the topic of AEW, I think we should address. There's a rumor that there's going to be a third show on Saturday night, and it's going to be the CM Punk show. That's something. Um,
maybe. Did you hear what happened on, like, the last Raw?
oh, him be yeah, backstage at Raw. That's kind of gnarly, but I mean, he
I
probably
mean, it
saw
was
his
in
friends over
Chicago.
there.
I heard that he kind of, like, went over there to, like, bury the hatchet with the Miz, because they had, like, a Twitter thing going on, like, a while ago, and
Maybe.
like, I heard that they did actually, like,
Well,
bury the beef.
But
So,
but here's the thing. Look, CM Punk wrestled a lot of years in WWE. He has a lot of contacts there. His wife AJ Lee has contacts there. I'm sure maybe they're not cool with everyone, but they're cool with enough someone's. I think it's fine. I don't think it's that scandalous or big of a, oh my god, he
oh, no, no,
was.
no. I don't
I
think it's
mean,
big either, but,
I
like,
mean, because Andrade doesn't work for WWE, and he's Charlotte Flair's husband, right? And
mhm.
Matthews, I forget his first name, but Matthews doesn't work for WWE, and that's Rhea Ripley's boyfriend, and they were both at the Hall of Fame ceremony. So it's not. I don't know. To me, it's not a. I mean,
Eh,
Conan, look Conan, right? I mean, he has he has a relationship with AEW, and he also inducted Rey Mysterio into the Hall of Fame. So, point is, I don't know if it's that big of a thing that a
the
AEW
only thing that
performer
I
or
would say
performer.
might make it a big thing is because apparently Vince McMahon kicked his ass. Not
Yeah, but
him. He kind of
but
gave word to
yeah,
have him booted, and I
right,
get it to an extent because they don't like each other at all. But
and yeah, that there's probably a lot of that to it, but there.
oh, there's a lot of that.
But
I have
then
no doubt that Punk and him don't like
it
each other.
yeah, but it could also, there could be other factors. Maybe the fact that
I mean,
he
maybe the fact that he's under contract with
like the
AEW
AEW,
and
and
Vince
they
just
said,
doesn't want to have to deal with that crap right now.
Right. And also maybe they don't want him there because there's a certain amount of liability. I mean,
Hmm.
what if he's backstage and I don't know, a stage prop falls on him? He's probably not
Stubs his
covered.
toe, it gets
He's probably
infected,
not, yeah, he's
dies.
probably not covered by WWE's insurance. So, I mean, there's could be a myriad of reasons, but yeah, it
CM Punk sues WWE for a random like stage light falling on his head.
I know. Now, here's the thing, though.
Sources say the rope was cut.
Right, but here's what I'm thinking. If they start a Saturday show for AEW and that's like the CM Punk led show, does that mean they're going to add another belt to AEW who already has admittedly a lot
Who
of
knows?
belts?
Who knows, man?
But then I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't bring Punk back, but what I am saying is I don't know if and I personally don't have an issue with CM Punk. I think he's cool. Um, at least his I don't know the man personally, just his work that
Mhm.
I on the ring and whatnot. But I mean, you don't get into fist fights with
Well,
like three of
here's
your
the thing. Here's
coworkers
the
if
thing.
there's no drama.
He's gotten into fist fights, but there have been other fist fights in that
That is
organization as well
true.
that
That
had
is true.
nothing to do with CM Punk. And he's come on saying like I'm
That is
working with
true.
children, and I mean that kind of backs up that theory of
Oh
like
yeah.
multiple
Oh
fights are just breaking out in the middle of like in the back. But
yeah. I mean,
so it might just be that he's getting frustrated with the way others are acting.
he could be, and also CM Punk. He comes. I don't know. Like he's he has an energy to him,
Hmm.
right? I mean,
I
it's
mean
not
he.
it,
I
it's
mean,
not
his
CM
character
polite.
has like a real arrogance to
Right,
that
right.
to
It's
it.
not
So
his name isn't CM Polite, right? It's CM Punk for a reason. And the only thing I don't get is like, I mean, I look, the, you would be naive to believe that wrestlers always get along with each other, right? I can promise you that wrestlers, protect their spot, they politic. I mean, we have a lot of vivid examples from the 90s, right? I mean,
yeah, I
Undertake
mean,
under like you hear Undertaker speak nowadays, he always talks about how when his first run for Shawn Michaels until 98 when he left the company for a couple of years, right? How Undertaker did not like him personally, right? Personally had no
how
like
many
for Shawn
people,
Michaels.
with the exception of Hunter and the rest of the clique, how
No,
many people actually liked
oh,
Sean at that?
probably not. But here's the
Like,
point:
yeah,
no matter how much Undertaker disliked Shawn Michaels personally, if they were booked together, he knew there was money in that match. So
mhm.
he left his personal feelings in the background in the locker room, went out to that ring and did business. Sean did the same thing. People always like to bury Sean because
Eh,
Sean wasn't nice, Sean didn't do this. Yeah, but if you worked with Sean was going to make you look like $1,000,000, right?
mm,
Because
I don't know.
who
Oh, well, Hogan,
who
but
Oh,
Hogan,
but you're
I mean,
looking at the
but
second run and you're looking at an FU contest. I'm talking about
no, but here's the thing. Like, who was it?
what you got. Brett and Sean didn't like each other, and they were able to put together matches,
Yeah, but
right?
I mean, like Sean has like, and part of putting on a good match is being able to like do your job and do what you need to do. And Sean has told his, Sean has come out and said he would at the time he said and he meant that he would not have put over Brett.
Nor should he have
And
put over Brett at
what?
that time.
Wait.
I said it. I ain't
Don't
scared of the
don't
hitman.
make me smack that goatee off your face.
Oh,
All
buddy,
right.
let's do it. Dom Mystic versus Don. It's all a work. Let's do it. We've been going at it since high school, and I won then. I'll win now. Hey.
Hey. What you guys don't know, what he needs to explain, and he's not going to because he's a shifty motherfucker, is that we used to backyard wrestle, and a certain someone, there, right there,
Might have been.
is the one who booked the shit.
Yeah,
So
created
of
it
course
too.
he
So
won. I'm like
yeah,
twice your size, motherfucker.
it is, and you're twice as slow.
I'm twice as slow, but I'll just fall on you, motherfucker. Fucking match over.
Match over.
Can't
Thomas and Rome.
you can't wrestle if you can't breathe, motherfucker. Anyways,
Dom.
anyways, is there anything
Dom.
else we need to talk about?
No, I think we covered everything. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on.
Including
I
almost smacking off your goatee and you challenging me to a wrestling match, but which
well,
is not going to happen. By the way, we're both way too old for that shit.
ladies and gentlemen, do you not see my name? It's all a work.
It's all a work, yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't realized by now, we like talking shit to
Of
each other.
course, we're working each other. We're working each other.
We're working here. But yeah, so let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about.
No,
We talked about
CM
Punk, we
Punk,
talked about
about
the
Hardy.
belt. I do kind of want to talk a little bit more about the draft
Yeah, let's do
because
it.
I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work because I understand that there are technically shows that are like everyone technically has their own show, right? As
I
I don't
think
even like,
so.
huh?
I think so, yeah.
I think
Because
so,
like
but do we know
he's
that?
certain. No, right. I mean, that's kind of the confusion right now. Because like Sonya
Like,
Deville doesn't show up on Monday Night Raw too much anymore. She's mostly on SmackDown, but that doesn't mean she has not been on Raw recently. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and here's another thing. Like, I mean, with all this confusion, do you just say like say shit, fuck it, just have everyone get drafted, like the whole roster
oh,
get
that's
picked
what
to
I
one
heard.
show?
I think I heard that's what's going to happen.
If that happens, like it's hard to explain away the absolute coincidence of all of Judgment Day and all of the Bloodline ending up on one show, though. But
I think there's going to be, because remember, they're not beholden to the same rules as say the NFL draft,
oh yeah,
which
obviously,
also happens to be this Friday, right?
and
Where
I
there's
will
a
also be watching that.
yeah,
I
right,
won't because I'll be at work, but
right. There's
I'll be
updates,
getting updates by
right, right. It's
motherfucker.
all a
No,
work.
but not by the fucking the gauntlet, by this motherfucker right here, the goatee
Oh, I was
motherfucker.
about to say Thanos. You have a direct line to Thanos.
Yeah, yeah. And if the Raiders pick wrong, I'm gonna have him snap his fingers and get me a good quarterback. Anyways, but
God
like
damn
back to
it!
wrestling. Back to wrestling. Like if they do like do all of them to like a certain show, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to to look at it with a straight face and be like, Judgment Day all made it onto Raw.
Well, they're not gonna pick them as individuals. They're
Oh,
gonna
they're gonna
pick
pick
them
them as
as
they're gonna
a
do them as
stable.
stables. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's better. That's better.
because you know what?
Well,
Because if
but then if you do it that way, then do you just say but tag teams don't count or
no, I think that's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna come up with rules along the way. Paul Heyman's gonna have a certain amount of sway. Roman Reigns will have a certain amount of sway. Like it's gonna be they're gonna be able to come up with a work, if you will,
mm-hmm.
in order to bring the stable over there. Because if they did it truly like how say a professional draft is done, then it would be like Adam Pierce selects Brock Lesnar, and then it would be like whoever the SmackDown equivalent is. Let's just say Sonya Deville, because she once was the like co-GM, right? Sonya Deville selects Brock Lesnar, and then it's like, okay, now we're splitting people, and then you would be like, one picks Kevin Owens, the next one picks Sami Zayn, so on and so forth, right?
Yeah. No, I
And
think
they
it's gonna be like a random, but
no. You know, absolutely they have this thing planned out. There is not a
oh,
chance a
I
wrestler.
know they have this planned out. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. That's the beauty of it
We
because it's
don't know.
yeah, because it's kayfabe. They can make the rules up as they go. They could add in stipulations that make no damn sense. there could be like a Samoan clause where all Samoans have to end up together,
I'm not
right?
gonna lie. Part of me thinks they're gonna split up Sami Zayn and KO.
Well, that would make literal to no sense if
Wait,
that
wait,
night
wait, wait,
they're wrestling for
because
the tag
think
titles.
about it. Night of Champions is in Saudi Arabia. Like Sami Zayn, I'm not sure about Kevin Owens, but Sami Zayn does not go to Saudi Arabia. So this would be a way to like kind of force the belts off of them, and then Sammy gets back into the bigger picture, and Kevin Owens in the bigger picture on the other show.
Yeah. Oh well, that there's
I mean,
something to that.
you've had your fun with the KO Sami Zayn thing, and then but then I do fear that they're gonna put him back on the freaking Usos, and the Usos. I don't dislike the Usos, but they've had them for a while.
I know, and they have a tag title rematch on SmackDown, and I hope they give them 30 minutes, you know, and they might not go all 30. Maybe they go
I
22 or
hope that's
something
the
like
main
that.
event because
But it's supposed to be, and that's what I'm thinking. If you're gonna have the draft, and then you also have this tag title match, give them time. If they get to that ring with like 6 minutes left in SmackDown, some stupid
what
bullshit's
about
gonna
this?
happen.
What about this? They draft someone every certain amount of time, kind of like the Royal Rumble. Like you have a time, and then
Time
somebody
limit.
gets drafted, and during their match, like either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn gets drafted to the other show.
And has to
It,
leave.
huh?
And has to leave.
And then they're like whoever's in the ring's like what? And then that's how they end up losing the titles.
I mean, well, what if they do it like Squid Game? You have to win your match in order to
And
stay put or whatever.
or no, like you have to win your match, and if you don't, you get shot. That's one way to make sure you don't have to make cuts.
We don't have to cut you if we killed you.
And, and we don't have to pay you because you're dead.
And there's always that. Hey, save a buck or two. Hey, by the
But
way, I don't know if Don Mystic knows this, but I save 15% on my car insurance. Geico.
mm,
What's in your
no,
wallet?
oh,
But
where is
by
that?
the way, I just conflated multiple commercials into one. The
Yeah,
slogan "What's in your wallet" is Capital One,
yeah.
and
Check
I
this
save
out.
$15 on my country.
Check this guy out.
Oh,
It's
look at
I
that!
won this shit for Halloween.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's a Geico and a
Gecko,
skeleton
yeah,
with a
Halloween costume.
yeah.
No,
I like that thing.
He's a delightful little fella, and
Yeah.
that's why I save
Is he
15% on my own
Aussie
car
or is
insurance.
he
Geico,
no the gecko because
yeah,
I
he's
know
Geico.
I know that, but
Okay.
like his accent, is it Aussie or is it like
Oh, his accent.
British?
Oh, I thought you meant. I thought when you said Aussie at first, I thought you were saying, "Is he Allstate?" And I was like, "No, he's not Allstate Insurance.
Apparently, I am
That's
not the only one working on not enough sleep right now.
Allstate Insurance is wait, nationwide on your side. All you're in good hands with Allstate. Yeah, so Allstate's you're in good hands,
Just in
folks.
case you wonder how much TV this motherfucker watches.
Now, well, I watch sports, so
Yeah, he doesn't
it's
have a choice.
that I have a choice. So I consume a shit ton of sports. So
Yeah. Anyways,
nationwide is on it. By the way, they're not paying us for these advertisements. I'm
yeah.
not going to
You
sing
know
your
what?
jingle unless
You
you
know what
cut
I'm
us
gonna
a
do?
check.
I'm gonna tell them, hey, I'm just gonna start calling up these businesses and be like, hey, we plugged you on our show. Give me money.
Oh, of course
That's how like endorsement deals work, right?
it
You can
is.
do it. You can demand it one sidedly, right?
Yeah, and by the way, well, since we're on it, we need to get an endorsement deal with JG Wentworth
No,
because I want my cash now.
what we need to do is get an endorsement deal with Coca Cola because I drink enough of this shit to keep you in business, motherfuckers. Give us some
God.
money.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Oh God.
yeah.
Well, JG Wentworth, and then what company is it where the young lady sings about getting her degree on her own time online? Oh God, it's
Oh
a catchy little song that gets stuck in my head all the time whenever I see it. Or you could, if you want to save cash, you could call the general.
Oh my god! If
God,
you're getting your freaking auto insurance from a cartoon general,
for a great
something
low
tells me
rate,
you
you
shouldn't
can
have a
save
car.
the time. Go to the general.
If you've ever been swayed by a cartoon on what you should do with your car, you're not smart enough to have a car.
God damn it! The general car insurance, Progressive. Hey, that's got Flo and her friends. All right, yeah, I know a lot of commercials. Whatever.
All right. Anyways, thank you for watching this episode of the Wrestling Godfathers podcast. I am Don Mystic. I will see you next time. I assume Don, it's all our work, will be here as well.
I will,
So,
because it's all a work. I might be working you right now. You'll never know. Tune in next week and find out.
or will you?
Yeah, it
You
might be a
won't
work.
actually.
You won't know.
You
We
won't
will
know
know. It's
because
all a work.
I
God
mean,
damn it!
if you knew, it wouldn't be a work.
No,
It'd
it's a
just be
work.
it. Yeah, but it's work.
We're
Or is it?
working the work, or
Or
is it?
is
Who
it?
knows? I don't know.
We don't know.
We
Peace
don't
out,
know.
everybody. See you next week.